Right now, a small percentage of your cells have stopped working, but they haven't died. They're just sitting there, leaking inflammatory signals that damage everything around them. Scientists call them senescent cells, but zombie cells is a much more honest description. And in May of this year, Mayo Clinic researchers announced a breakthrough that changes everything we thought we knew and how to deal with them, including the inconvenient finding that some of them might actually be keeping you alive. My name is Dr. Scott Sherr, and welcome back to Don't Look Up. In this video, you're going to understand exactly what senescent cells are, why your body starts accumulating them, and why the just clear them out all approach that's all over the longevity space right now may be only half the story. Cellular senescence is a real, well-established biological process. Cells that stop dividing but don't die and start leaking toxic inflammatory signals called SASP, senescent associated secretory phenotype. Every cell in your body has a lifespan. Most cells divide, they replicate, they do their job, and eventually they either die through a clean process called apoptosis, or they divide again. Senescent cells are the ones that hit a checkpoint and decide, I'm not going to divide anymore, I'm not going to die either. I'm just going to stay here. But, and this is important, it's not a malfunction, it's actually a feature of your biology. The problem is what happens when too many of these cells accumulate. The thing about senescent cells is that they have a tumor suppression mechanism. When a cell detects it's damaged or at risk of becoming cancerous, it stops dividing. Senescence actually is a safety brake. They don't sit quietly though because of these SASPs. They secrete a cocktail of inflammatory cytokines, proteases, and growth factors into surrounding tissue. This causes damage over time. Age is actually the main driver of senescent cell accumulation, but also chronic stress, poor sleep, UV damage, metabolic dysfunction, and excess cholesterol even. Not just an old people problem. This can happen even younger and younger. And organs are affected too. Think of it like this. Imagine your neighborhood has a house that gets abandoned. The family doesn't move out. They just stop maintaining everything. No trash up, no lawn care, and they start leaving windows open so the smell drifts out. One house, annoying. Your immune system handles it, clears it, no big deal. But as you get older, imagine 5 of those houses on your block, then 10, then a third of the street. At that point, property values, which in this analogy are your tissue health and organ function, start declining, and everything starts declining. That's what SASP does at scale. This is a physical process happening in your tissues right now. And the question is just how many of these cells you have and what they're doing to you. The answer here is not as clean as the supplement industry would have you believe. A May 2026 review and new Mayo Clinic research upended the simple clear them all out narrative. Some senescent cells serve protective and repair functions. The clinical evidence for blanket senolytic protocols in humans is weaker than widely claimed. For about a decade, the longevity research community operated on a fairly simple assumption. Senescent cells, bad. Clear them out, live longer, and the mouse studies were genuinely exciting. A landmark 2015 paper clinically showed that clearing just 30 to 50% of senescent cells in aging mice significantly extended their healthy lifespan. The mice were more active, had lower disease rates. It was really compelling. This is where the senolytic conversation came from. Quercetin, fisetin, these are compounds people started taking. A 2024 phase 2 RCT in Nature Medicine found dasatinib and quercetin combined produce only subtle benefits in postmenopausal women. No statistically significant difference at 20 weeks. Mayo Clinic 2025 commentary, researchers concluded that they lack clear evidence for the efficacy of senolytics in humans and called for personalized approaches. One of the major issues is the detection issue. Until May 2026, no reliable way to identify senescent cells really existed in human tissue. Some senescent cells were actually realized to serve an important function: wound healing, embryonic development, and even normal tissue balance. Blanket clearance could be actually harmful in certain contexts. A UCLA finding was even excess cholesterol can push immune macrophages into senescence, connecting metabolic health to cellular aging directly as well. There's a great illustration from this wound healing research. When you cut yourself, senescent cells show up at the wound site and actually help coordinate the repair process. They send signals that recruit other cells to close the wound. Then in young, healthy system, they clear out once the job is done. The problem isn't that these cells exist. The problem is that in the clearance mechanisms breaking down with age, leaving them to overstay their welcome. So the goal isn't zero senescent cells. It's getting the clearance system working again. And it's this reframe that makes the practical section of this video so important. So let's get into it. The protocol isn't just take senolytics. It's building conditions, metabolic health, autophagy, immune system function, mitochondrial resilience, that allow the body's natural clearance mechanisms to work, with targeted senolytic considerations for those with known risk factors. The Health Optimization Medicine Conference is happening. 2 days of events, October 2nd and 3rd, Chicago, Illinois at the Drake Hotel. CMEs available to practitioners who need them, just 150 people, with amazing speakers on the cutting edge of health and wellness. This is a community. It's not your average conference. If you're interested, go to homehope.org. I hope to see you there. There are 3 layers here, and the order matters. Number 1 is metabolic health. This is so important. Metabolic health is how well your cells manage energy. Energy production, detoxification, managing lipids, blood sugar, insulin sensitivity. It's not just about cardiovascular, it's about the whole system. And all of this is anti-senescent in itself by optimizing your metabolic health. Sleep quality is also extremely important. Clearance of senescent cells by NK cells and certain T cells happens disproportionately during deep sleep. We must get deep sleep. Sleep is absolutely essential. If you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep a night, you're not getting enough sleep. Exercise is also hugely important. We need to be doing resistance training, zone 2 cardio, because zone 2 cardio specifically has been shown to reduce senescent cell burden. The mechanism involves mitochondrial biogenesis, which upstream prevents DNA damage that triggers senescence. We have to reduce drivers, chronic UV exposure, chronic stress. There's also ultra-processed food. That also drives a huge amount of oxidative stress and DNA damage that push cells all into senescence. There's also autophagy, literally self-eating, the cellular cleanup process where the body identifies and degrades damaged components, including the proteins and organelles that contribute to senescence. Cells that are about to become senescent often have impaired autophagy. When the recycling system breaks down, damaged components accumulate, the cells can't self-repair, and it tips into senescence. So restoring autophagy may prevent senescence from happening in the first place, upstream of the whole problem. How do we do this? Fasting is the primary lever. Fasting is the most potent and accessible autophagy trigger we know of. You don't need a 72-hour water fast to get a meaningful signal, although you can do those. The shorter fast can do it. A practical fasting window for most people, 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of eating. There are other ways to do this. I used to be much more into these longer fasts, but even an overnight fast, even 12 to 14 hours can do this. And then maybe spending 1 day every week when you don't eat for maybe a 24-hour period. 48 hours, 72 hours, these are not for everybody. If you're not healthy right now, I don't recommend doing a longer fast without medical supervision. Okay, so 3 things to take with you. First, senescent cells are real. The mechanism is well established, and the accumulation of these cells and the inflammatory signals they release is one of the most credible biological explanations for how aging actually works at the tissue level. This isn't hype. Second, the clinical evidence for aggressive senolytic supplementation in healthy humans is much weaker than the supplement industry suggests. The mouse data was exciting. The human data is still being written. And the new finding that some senescent cells serve protective functions means clear them all out was probably always too simple. And third, the most powerful interventions available to you right now are in supplements. They're the combination of metabolic health, consistent sleep, regular exercise, and a fasting window that gives your cells the space to run autophagy. Those aren't consolation prizes. They're mechanistically upstream of the whole problem. Now, if this made you think differently about aging, not as something that just happens to you, but as something happening in your cells right now, in ways you can actually influence, hit the subscribe button. We do this every week. Thanks so much for listening to an episode of Don't Look Up, where we ask you to look up. Please tune into episodes every week. We'll see you next time.